Welcome back, and thank you for joining us this week in a very, very cold and bitter Wyoming is where we're at. When I say bitter, I'm talking about the weather, not about the people. We had a very interesting experience on our way to Wyoming, and I wanted to share it with you because it has everything to do with my message on auditing. My message is on auditing this week. This time of year, our taxes are due. I do our in-house audits, and we also have external audits. Accountants do audits, and a lot of times auditing has a negative connotation. I'd like to switch that around today, and hopefully when you and I look at the word audit, we are proactive and embrace that word so that we can audit ourselves in the safety realm and be better because of it. So on our way to Cheyenne, back to this story, on our way here, as we were fueling up about 1 o'clock in the morning, the vehicle that was driving me came across a vehicle that was about a half a mile away from a gas station, right smack in the middle of the road. It was on an underpass going underneath the freeway, so we'd already came down the off-ramp and then made a left turn and going underneath the freeway, and that car was right in the middle of the road. And there was nobody there. And we pulled up into the gas station there to fuel up and to check our fluids. It was about -7 degrees, so it was cold outside, and very, very bitter, very, very bitter cold. We're fueling up, and there was a lady that was walking around talking to people looking for help. And she had expressed that she had been looking for help for quite some time and couldn't find anybody to help her. It was her car that was underneath the middle of the freeway, underneath the overpass in the middle of the freeway, the one that we drove by as well. And she couldn't find anybody to help her. It didn't have a chain, and she was out of fuel, and her power had went out in the vehicle, so her hazard lights were on, and it was pitch dark. I mean, anybody could hit this vehicle. And so that being said, it took some time to find people to get to help her. She must have asked a dozen people, I'm going to say that conservatively, before we found a chain and the proper vehicle to pull her up to the gas station and get her fueled up and jump start her battery and get her going to where she needs to be. So here is what I learned from that. Number one, the first thing that came to my mind, and this has nothing to do with auditing, but are we proactively looking for people to help? Not reactively. I know that when someone asks for our help, by golly, we'll probably run to the rescue and help them, but are we willing to help without being asked and looking for people to serve? When we do that, only then are our families more unified. Do we have less arguments and disputes in our family, and do we become more close as a family unit and also safer in the workplace? We are proactively looking for someone to help before we start our daily routine and our daily activities, our daily work, our emails. If we look for someone to help more than ourselves, the things that I just mentioned will come to fruition. The auditing portion, the lady, the innocent lady that didn't have the chain and she ran out of fuel, I think you and I need to do a self-audit. IRS audits, they audit what we did not do. I think that I'm talking about audits that we should do and that we should do on a regular basis with ourselves each and every day, which would include the following. Do we have the proper tools on our journey? So do I have a chain in the vehicle? Do I have blankets and pillows in this cold weather that I'm traveling in? Do I have enough fuel to get to the next city stop, or do I not in my vehicle? Do I have the proper PPE? Does my PPE work? Do I have the right tools for the job? Do I, in leadership, as it pertains to leadership, am I saying the positive and right things to my family to keep them in the loop, that they know that their father is proud of them? Does my wife know that I care because I'm sending her a message throughout the day, letting her know that I'm thinking about her? Do my colleagues know that I care about them because I'm looking out for their safety and I'm positive around them? Or do I just show up to work and do my job, collect a paycheck, and then go home and just go through the motions? My hope is that you and I will, number one, be more proactively willing to serve other people, and to do self-audits so that we are safer because of it, and that we become better leaders, better people of influence to those that we're stewards over and those that are looking up to us. Until next week, roll with safety. Thanks.